Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome one and all. So much for being here. Okay, let me mute that. Oh boy. And I got a million screens open. Hold on a second. Let me close a couple of these before we start having problems. Okay. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Please don't forget to hit the like button. If you are new to the channel, please do consider acquiring yourself a Royal Sussex membership. We greatly appreciate it. For just the price of a cup of coffee, $4.99 per day, you can grab yourself a membership. Um, and that's $4.99 once a month. That's it, once a month. So skip that one cup of coffee and help to make this channel great. Okay? Okay. Now, I'm stalling because not only do I got too many things open, that means that I was working really hard trying to prep. But the other thing is, there was just one more image that I was waiting for today. And that came in like 30 minutes ago, and I only saw it just a few seconds ago. So I'm just adding that to today, this uh, live stream. And oh, Lord, did I do that again? Yes, I did. See what happens when you rush? See what happens when you rush. Okay. All right. I can fix that. All right. I tell you what. Tell you what. I know what I need to do. I need to open up another one, but you don't have to do anything. Let me handle this. Let me handle my business. Okay. You may hear an echo right now, but not for long. Okay. It is handled. I got it. Thank you for your patience. All right. Slide is coming up very soon, and then we will make it do what it do. Oh man, and I tell you, I'm about to drag somebody, but let's get to the Duchess of Sussex first because that is the most important thing right now. And then I'm gonna have to drag some little pudgy what do you call it, editor who looks as though somebody just looked at their thumb and started, I guess, taking like a ballpoint pen or some whatever. And anyway, you'll see what I mean. Connie Bowmer. Hey, Connie Bowmer. Thank you so much for being here. Antoinette Kennedy. Marshar is here. Ah, there we go. And we're up. And we're going to make it do what it do. Okay. Where was I? Now, breaking news. Look who was pictured, not pictured, video recorded together. Now, they're not in the same frame at the same time, but this is what it looks like when women block out the noise and that they are being adults and supportive to other women. The great, the late great Madeleine Albright said, "Women who do not help other women," she said, "there is a special place in hell for women who do not support other women." Do you guys remember that? Madeleine Albright said that. There you go. There's a special place in hell for women who don't help other women. Former Secretary, well, the late Secretary of State Madeleine Albright. Okay. She knew what she was talking about. And of course, I don't think society has learned a lesson. And let's not put all the pressure on women. There are too many men out there that do not support a qualified woman when they have an opportunity to make history. They just don't. So, Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker and thank you for joining us today. Greatly appreciated. And thank you for being a member as well as a moderator. And hello to you too, Connie Balmer. Thank you so much for being here first today. So, now this uh, okay, I did not read the article. I did grab the headline, but I didn't click on the article because I ain't trying to help them with their clickbait. But clues everyone missed in Gwyneth Paltrow's juicy takedown of Meghan, as insiders revealed to Alison Boshoff, or as I like to say, well, I shouldn't say that, but yeah, I was going to say Allison can, something off, but not okay, never mind. The very telling dinner party slight that says it all. Future students of social media will surely be writing dissertations on the extraordinary 31-second video of Gwyneth Paltrow making breakfast. You guys, they thought that this was going to be the Zapruder film of takedowns, okay? They thought this was going to be the Zapruder film of the beef between Meghan and Gwyneth Paltrow, right? Our Duchess of Sussex, who is nothing but class. And of course, Gwyneth Paltrow, who has her own life, her own thing going on. Now, I myself, I will admit, I was feeling a certain way. I took Gwyneth Paltrow's humor as a bit of a slight. And now I have to recognize Dorothy Ross. Hey, Dorothy Ross, thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for being a member. I have to recognize that I was wrong. Do you hear me? Mark it down. Tuesday, March the 25th, 6:32 p.m. I was wrong because I was ready to stay. Well, you know what I was ready to do. And you know what I was ready to do. And I know that you know that I know that you know what I was ready to do. Because y'all know I have lost contact with a few people because of things that they have said about Meghan. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you, a couple of them people ain't even here no more. And and do I lie in my bed in anguish over the fact that I took it a certain way? No, because I thought it was being short-sighted and unfair. But I have to admit this time that I was getting all worked up about something. And wasn't I the one who always say, y'all have to trust Harry and Meghan. Trust Harry and Meghan. They will deal with people the way they deal with people. Trust Harry and Meghan. I've always said that. And I wasn't even living by my own mantra. I was slipping into the abyss. But the important thing is this is what you call a teachable moment. So there you have it. Gwyneth Paltrow asked me a question. Well, there were several things that she read with her thing. I guess that's a thing for her. Ask me a question. Are you comprehending the Meghan Markle beef that social media says you two have? Right? And next thing you know, she pans the camera over to Meghan, who is, well, according to people who have gone to the Invictus games, they say she's the tiniest thing, and yet she's always eating. She must have the greatest metabolism. But that being said, it was much to do about nothing. And I just believe that this was a very adult way to handle things. They were both being the adults in the room. They both stood up and they were just like, no, not on my watch. There's nothing there. We're not subject to the British tabloid media pitting one woman against the other because there is nothing to it. There's no there. So they were being very adult about it. And I say, cheers for that. Thank God for that. Thank God that they were being adult enough to, send the message to the world. We are not having problems with each other. This is a non-existent thing. And I am grateful for that. I am. Because it just doesn't make sense to allow something like that to fester. And of course, even worse would be to sit back and let your staff or your courtiers maintain some kind of back and forth thing that really does not exist. So that's why I said they're being very, very adult about things, and I'm glad for it because there's no reason for it. There would be no purpose. It doesn't serve anyone. It doesn't serve anyone. And you notice that amongst the content creators for the Sussex squad, you don't really have things, that thing so and so had with such and such about so and so. You just don't have that. We that's not part of our universe. So take a look here. I'm going to turn down the sound for the very beginning of this because I'm not sure I can use it. But there you can see Meghan. All you hear is the beat. You don't hear any words coming from her. And then, of course, this is what she posted on her reel. So it started off, let me go back there, with Meghan walking into the podcast. Again, you don't hear a voice at all here. And then it goes to this, right? And then just when I thought it was just, this is it for today, although I was looking for something else, this popped up.
I genuinely do not understand this at all whatsoever. Do you understand this?
That popped up just out of nowhere. Let's do it again.
I genuinely do not understand this at all whatsoever. Do you understand this?
It's almost surreal to see this. I mean, you could have bought my ass for a nickel. Do you hear me? I was not expecting this. When I saw it, I was like, no. Yes. I was totally blown away. And by the way, not only do you see it here from Meghan's Instagram account, but it is also, of course, on Gwyneth Paltrow's Instagram account, which I am following her now. And that's it, you guys. That just totally takes the pressure off of us. And it is a lesson well learned. Like I said, I was wrong because I was all geared up to start dragging, and I'm not going to do that because it's not my place to do that. Harry and Meghan are grown adult people, And I can be very, very petty, very, very petty about people that are, in my heart like that. So just so you know, I can be very petty, but I don't have to. I'm not going to because there's no there. Okay, so just in case you couldn't really catch what was going on, you could see frame for frame where she goes to Meghan. Do you know? And Meghan's she sticks the fork in her mouth and she even looks off to the other side there. So if you actually saw the reel that's on her Instagram, she obviously there were other people there. I believe there was whoever the co-founder or whoever the partner that Gwyneth Paltrow used for her um, Instagram or product line or whatever. That person was there. No one did I recognize. So there you have it. So disaster averted. I am going to be cool, and I'm going to be a very good parent or godparent to my godchildren, Harry and Meghan, and stay out of their business and let them handle the way that they connect to other people. I'm going to do that. At least I want to do my best. I can't make any promises. Mad World says, Baron, if you go to the actual Confession of a Female Founder podcast trailer, we're listening to podcasts. You know what? I saw that trailer earlier. Yesterday, it wasn't actually making any sound, but today it does actually produce sound. And that was pretty cool. But yes, I did see that yesterday. And you're saying that. And let me see. And it's what is it? April the 8th is when we have the pleasure of actually enjoying the podcast. So what's that? Oh my god, I want the hair care product from Meghan. I've been wondering what she uses to slay her edges. Well, I don't know what she uses on the edges, but I know she uses that hair serum from her good girlfriend. The name of it escapes me. Hi, Antoinette Kennedy says, Baron, I thought this would happen because Meghan doesn't entertain nonsense. I thought Gwyneth would be on the podcast. And she may very well be. And who knows? They may end up in the kitchen together. There's no reason why they couldn't or shouldn't. Let's see. They're also trying to pit Martha Stewart against Meghan. When Martha was told that Meghan looked up to her, I heard Martha say that she was honored. Yeah, and I keep hearing this thing about this person is following that person, and that person was first. And I must say, I take it back to my childhood. This is Julia Childs, Bon Appetit. Okay, I take it back to my childhood. Julia Childs, who was doing it before anybody I know. Or Suzanne Nivens, the happy housewife, who she had a segment on the local television news on the fictitious your newsroom in Mary Tyler Moore. So even local television stations had some type of lifestyle thing for years. So it is nothing new, the whole genre of it. But the thing is, just because other people sing doesn't mean that you shouldn't become a singer, a professional singer, or sing for a living. Just because other people have been actors, and of course, you know how they say, well, we don't need another Marilyn Monroe. Oh, so if you look like Marilyn Monroe, you shouldn't go into acting? No, not at all. If you have a talent, if you feel as though you have a voice or you have something you want to share, as Meghan feels very passionate about lifestyle, then of course you don't worry about who does it first or who does it last. You get in there and just do the best darn job that you can do. And that is what matters. I felt the same way when I started Royal Sussex. There were other people out there. There were other voices. And I listened to that buffoon, hello, that guy. And I'm like, I certainly couldn't do any worse. I can't do any worse. So let me get this channel started. And that is how that happened. Okay, as ever, Meghan. And of course, you see there? There is the screenshot of her, as ever, Instagram, available spring 2025. And take a look here because something changed overnight. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, a hand-picked and curated collection of the things I love. I hope you enjoy them. Please note, some products may contain commissionable links. Okay? Well, take a look here. We saw this yesterday, my clothes, but this is what changed. Beauty. She added a bunch of beauty stuff, including, is it Tatcha? Yeah, she added a bunch of beauty stuff. So don't forget to go over to the Meghan Instagram and click on the link that will take you to this. It says shop my .us/ms. Yeah, so when you go there, when you go to Meghan on Instagram, it will take you to this link. And yeah, and then you can see what she's added to it. So who knows? Perhaps tomorrow she'll add something else to it. But whatever it is, you guys, we're going to be fed. Okay, this is it. The famine is over. The famine is over. We were hungry for more content from Meghan, positive content directly from Meghan. And now we are going to get our fill. Do you hear what I'm saying? Now we are going to get our fill every day, because Meghan, after what, a 5-year absence? No, longer than that, right? Has it been 7 years? Good grief. After 7 years, she is back on Instagram. And this is what was posted today on As Ever. It says, back to the beginning. Back to the beginning. And what is meant by that? Well, take a look here. I just showed you. See there? I just showed you. When it comes to the Meghan's idea of products, the first thing we had a chance to see was the preserve, or jam as some people still call it. And of course, the dog biscuits came next, right? And well, anyway, this lets you know where it starts, and then it's onward and upward from here. Carolita Simon, thank you so much. Or is it Simone? Thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for being here. Greatly appreciate it. I tell you, am I in a good mood today? I am loving this. So don't forget, it is April the 8th, Limonada, Confessions of a Female Founder with Meghan. Yeah, she didn't even, she didn't give them room to criticize her. Those people, not that we are tripping about that, but just remember, and most of you all know this already, Harry and Meghan promised that they would not use their titles for commerce or trade or anything like that. However, there are certain times when it is proper to, say Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, because that really is her name. I mean, she has several names, and that is one of them, just like Prince Harry. I mean, practically, I'm not saying officially, but he is a prince. That is official. His name is Harry, and the world knows him as Prince Harry. That is pretty much his name. And so the Duke of Sussex, that is another way to denote who he is. So there are times when people are going to question that, but the thing is, whether it looks adequate or not, those are their names and that's their titles, and they are entitled to use them. So um, some people get very rattled by it, but those are usually people who are, day after day hoping the worst for them anyway. So the heck with them. Ah, check this out. Wall Street Journal. Now, Wall Street Journal is known to be a very, very conservative newspaper. And I do believe it was bought out by the Murdoch people. And since then, I don't like it so much. But you guys, just as I have confessed that I was wrong to start balling up my fist and frothing at the mouth and bristling about this idea that there's some beef, and I was starting to really dislike Gwyneth Paltrow. Um, the other thing is there will be times when the worst publications actually get it right. Okay? And even when they do get it right, sometimes it is still a bit of snark in between the lines. But this one here says Meghan Markle Netflix show got one thing very right. Viewers have been critical of the Duchess of Sussex new cooking show, but fashion brands are reaping the benefit of her aspirational wardrobe. Now, I'm glad that they are the ones who put this in print and that they are the ones that are saying that these fashion brands are benefiting, because the latest thing that they're trying to do is they're trying to push this thing about, oh, Megan is well, okay, this is should I say the latest way they're describing Megan of being out of touch is by mentioning the price of some of the items that appeared, some of the clothing that she wore. And that's going to backfire. That is going to backfire because there are so many women of every ethnicity, race, creed, color, that have rallied to support Meghan in recent days. And it has gotten so big that people are cooking the food, they're searching for the products and items. And of course, do you think there's any way, I don't care what the price is, whatever the price point, they're going to go and buy those clothes. They're going to go and buy those clothes. And it's not just a matter of protesting or pushing back against the system or the media or whatever. It is because there are people who have worked very hard to live in a beautiful home, to wear lovely clothes. And yes, there are people who want sustainable fashion, not just the clothing that have this big famous designer label, but some of Meghan's clothing is expensive because they're made in small batches, not just for her, of course, but there are places where things are handmade. There are places where they're not using synthetic fibers. They are using sustainable material. Also, they're using, cotton and linen and such. So there's a reason why some of these things cost more, but they're not disposable fashions. These are things that you can wear for years. And anyone can get value out of whatever the price point is if you are going to use it for years. You get the value instead of going and buying the latest fashion like they do with some of those shops. So, anyway, the article continues. In her Netflix show, With Love, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex cooks, gardens, and entertains, taking audiences into a dreamy kitchen in sunny Montecito for lemon cake and fruit platters. Since the show debuted in March, viewers have been split on whether the former royal, okay, that's an era, has the chops to stand next to icons like Martha Stewart and Gwyneth Paltrow in homemaking category. What's not up for debate is Meghan Markle's fashion selling power. So you see there's a little bit of snark there, but still this identifies something that has been quite obvious, and that is the fact that Meghan sells a lot of items, and it is very beneficial for the owners of those products as well as the people that manufacture those products. Since the show debuted in March, viewers have been, I'm sorry, next part here is her breezy Ula Johnson dresses, Cezanne button-down shirts, muted J. Crew vests, and Jenny Kane cashmere sweaters, and just some of the, are just some of the items from her TV wardrobe, and are now sold out and accruing wait lists. They have actually started wait lists for these products. Both aspirational and laid back, her style is a commercial force. The Meghan effect is so big that y'all know that they tried to say that this other member of the royal family has some effect. And it's just not trending. Nobody's buying it. Not that it is, well, yeah, it is, it's terrible, but it's just a reaction to this. It's a reaction to this. And listen, you can be the most famous person in the world and not have much of an impact on the fashion industry, as evident by that other person who they say have a different type of effect, who has been at the global center of attention. And yet, Meghan's wedding dress has, that style has been better received and more popular. Meghan's wedding ring, more popular. It's not much that Meghan has worn that has not been um, trending or noticed or and sold out compared to other members of that family. I'm just telling the truth. I'm not trying to, rub it in or anything like that. So my point is, this is Meghan. People see her, the out of touch Duchess. People actually do feel connected to her, and they do see themselves in Meghan. And by identifying yourself in Meghan, you will go and get those shoes. You will go and get that purse. There's a lot of things, because it's not just Meghan as the individual, it is the aesthetics, the lifestyle, the idea of comfort, nurturing oneself and one's family and friends. All of those things combined. And they identify with who Meghan is and how she moves through this world. Okay, and let me see, it gets better. She is in a league of her own, says Lindy Benson, founder and CEO of luxury basic brand Blue Salt, which sold over 300 t-shirts in one day after Meghan wore one on the show. Now, that may not seem like a lot, but for Blue Salt, that is a lot. That is a lot because, again, these are quality items made of the best fabrics with non-synthetic this and non-toxic that. There are people who are willing to pay the extra price for it. Netflix viewers have been flooding websites and Instagram accounts dedicated to Meghan's fashion, the beauty in search of product credits. They pay attention to details as minute Marco's manicure. Okay, that is weird. But I go back and forth on whether I want longer nails or shorter nails. And then I see her and I'm like, should I go back to shorter nails? said Alexandra McCormick, a beauty brand director in Los Angeles. She has this effortless yet put together look. So there you go. Alexandra McCormick. She goes back and forth, longer nails, shorter nails. Then she sees Meghan and she's like, I want to look like that. That's the look I'm going for. You see what I mean? That is the Meghan effect. McCormick said she has friends in London who dislike Markle out of allegiance to the royal family, yet still take style directives from her. They're like, Meghan can't do anything right. Also, I just bought her sweater. Do you understand that? They cannot stand Meghan, but they're still going out to shop for the sweater that she wore. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. How do they justify that? You have a loathing, hostility against Meghan, and I cannot stand her. Ooh, I got to have that sweater. Seriously? Seriously. Yeah. That's it. They cannot tolerate her, but they want that sweater. With Love, Meghan is part of a report. I don't want to get into that revision and stuff about how much they are paid for this, and that. Let me skip past that. Okay. Okay, let me see. Okay, so it was a lot of the stuff for people who just don't know. Following a flood of interest in Markle's wardrobe, a fan nostalgia for pre-royal lifestyle blog, The Tig, the Duchess started the Shop My Page on Monday, where she can make affiliated revenue from products recommendations. A spokesman said that the page has more to come, including beauty, fashion. Oh, get this, kids and home products. So we've seen the fashion, we've seen the beauty, but there's going to be kids and home products. So again, you guys, please pay down your credit card balance because we are just getting started. We are just getting started. Her fashion fans will likely be pleased to hear this. Let me see. Adrian, is it Gillespie? A real estate publicist in Lake Forest, Illinois. She said she combed the web in search of a pair of white Aquazzura sneakers she saw Meghan Markle wear recently. I'm surprised. I'm surprised we're all left. Let me see. I'm surprised we're all left to our internet sleuthing. Oh, okay, I get it. Internet sleuthing to find stuff. She said, as ever, Markle's yet to be launched line of teas and preserves is not scratching my purchasing itch, Gillespie said, but all this other stuff is. So, yeah, she's saying that she probably won't buy the other stuff from, the direct sales, but just about everything that Meghan is wearing, she seems to take an interest in. And, to each their own. Brands are feeling the Meghan effect. Brands are feeling the Meghan effect. New York fashion brand Laline, I guess that's how you pronounce it, saw a pair of its jeans sell out within a few days of Markle wearing them on the show, said co-founder and CEO Molly Howard. The brand had sent the jeans to Markle. Howard said that after the episode dropped, the company sold over 500 pairs of pants in about 2 weeks. Again, for some of these smaller companies with pricier things, that is a lot. That definitely changes their fortunes. Not to mention all of the return customers and so on. A pair of $40 clogs Meghan wore during an episode where she feeds her chickens sold out online in most women's sizes, and searches for shoes on the Crocs website increased by 70% compared to last month. A company spokesman said a $395 striped beige sweater from Jeannie Kane has been around since July of 2023, but it sold out this month after Markle draped it over her shoulders on the show. According to Lauren Anderson, the label's vice president of brand and creatives, over 1,000 people signed up to join the wait list for the $950 Ula Johnson blue dress Markle wears in her show promo image, according to a brand spokesman. Oh, that's the blue. Okay, you guys know what blue dress that is, right? Let me see. Interest in Markle's clothes had slowed down since the Duchess stepped back from royal duties, but Susan Corter, the curator for Markle's style account, what Meghan wore, but she said views on her page have picked up from about 50,000 a month to 150,000. So times three, okay? Times three. Okay, so yeah, that's about the end of it. Yeah. So there you go, you guys. There you go. Once again, it is called the Meghan effect. All right, let's go on to the next thing. Hi, Chef Sandy Love. Thank you so much for being here. I feel like breakdancing right now. What a joy to us, her fans, and a raw egg on the faces of her haters. Hello, everyone. Yeah, you are so right about that. They all have egg on their faces. They have egg on their faces. uh, uh, Pamela Vickers Tuttle says, hello, Baron and chat. I saw Gwyneth's boyfriend breakfast, which she does weekly, in which she shaded Meghan. The responses from the very top was applauding Gwyneth and encouraging her to continue. Well, you know, I felt as though there was a certain air of sarcasm from Gwyneth Paltrow, but like I said, if you were here from the beginning, I'm going to leave that alone. She and Meghan, they whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it's better off for everyone. There's no sense in giving in to some back and forth thing. Some people have a very dry wit or sarcastic tone to their humor, and then that's just the way it is. And so I'm going to leave it at that for now. And just in case you missed it, let's do that again. Yeah, let's do the whole thing again. So there is no sound to this, but there was music that I wasn't comfortable using. What should I say? You don't hear her voice. And I have to be careful with the copyrights. So these are the 3 reels that Meghan posted today.
I genuinely do not understand this at all whatsoever. Do you understand this?
So the idea is that there was some type of beef between Meghan and Gwyneth Paltrow. And of course, the Daily Mail and other tabloids were doing the best they could to stir up a whole bunch of stuff. And asked me a question. It was a little thing she does called Ask Me a Question. Are you comprehending Meghan Markle beef that social media says you two have? And Gwyneth Paltrow says she doesn't get it. And Meghan's like, So I'm going to leave it there for now. I am going to leave it there for now. I'm not going to take the responsibility upon myself to, keep this going or anything like that. I feel a certain way, but I'm going to keep that to myself. Okay, we're going to move on to something else. Stella Parton. This is what she posted on March the 11th, and I guess this is the reason why the tabloids began to quote her, because Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's last royal outing was 5 years ago. Here's what really went down. It felt cold. I laughed how the media always print the ages of Harry and Meghan, but never the other family members of the royals. Okay, point well taken. And then also she goes on to say in another tweet, it's only cowardly bullies who insult these two, always hiding behind a fake account, trolling for someone to hate on. And then it continues with another tweet. Is encouraging to see all the protesters in the streets. Is perplexing to notice how the media is refusing to cover it. What does that tell you? It tells me they've been compromised. Don't watch them and watch them crumble. Yeah, don't watch them and watch them crumble. So, of course, she's speaking of the protests that took place during the Commonwealth Day. Yes, the Commonwealth Day, when they had those yellow and black signs and placards and such, down with the crown, not my king, and so on and so forth. And she's saying, well, they don't cover it. They don't really cover it. And they don't. They downplay it. And rarely do they give it any type of coverage. Okay, Henrietta Phillips. You know what? There have been some other people that felt a certain pressure from the Sussex squad. I can think of one right off the top of my head. Not saying that this is the case, but remember, Joan Collins, she suddenly decided to clam up and stop talking about Meghan, even when hoghead Piers Morgan tried to bring up Meghan on his show, and she did the old zip her mouth, turn the key, and then swallow it because she just did not want that smoke. So I'm going to say that there is a certain truth to that, where at least where Joan Collins is concerned, and a few other people. Yeah, and a few other people. Because you know what? After a while, it will affect your bottom line. It will. It will. What seems like a bunch of engagement and that's going to bring you fortune, well, you will get the engagement, but you won't necessarily have people maintaining any brand loyalty. Yeah. So clean it up, right? Just clean it up, move on. If you have made a bit of a mess, probably better to be adult, clean it up, and move on. So again, not saying that that's the situation. Now, again, Stella Parton is Dolly Parton's sister, and she has been a longtime supporter of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. And she herself has mentioned how the British tabloid media interviewed her in the past, and she could not recognize herself or the conversation by the time it went into print. So there's a lot of people who have suffered the slings and arrows of the tabloid media that, not only identify with Meghan because she's a great person, but they identify with Meghan because they have gone through some of the same stuff that Meghan has gone through. not to a degree that Meghan has. I don't think there's many people alive that have gone through that. But again, it it doesn't escape the notice of people who have suffered from the tabloid media. Wow, Daniel Medico, new member. Thank you so much for that. I am absolutely flattered. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And thank you for helping Royal Sussex grow. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, moving on. Meghan posted this. Remember, I said there was a post that I was looking for and I finally found it? Proudly supporting Alliance of Moms and the powerful work they do to support moms and their children. Well done, Heart Mom, for your selfless love of so many. The world is better with you in it. Now, Heart Mom is, oh gosh, I always mess this up. Kelly McGee Zafin. I think McGee is now her middle name. And that is the lady who, along with her daughter, came over to help Meghan make those cookies. And she sadly lost her son. I think it was to heart disease some time ago. And I think it was just like, in spite of the fact that he was sick, it was a big shock that he had passed away, especially being so young. I forget, I think, was he 12 years old, something like that? And Meghan rallied to support her. And they have been very supportive of each other. And there you can see the community motherhood. That was one of their T-shirts. And then there is the Love Like a Mother, another T-shirt. So Kelly, if I can call her that, she has been very supportive of that organization. I don't know if she's on the board or a founder or if she's the chairman or the head of it, but it is always something that that she's active in. So, and of course, Meghan, being a supportive friend, has also worn those shirts. And I do believe both of those ones on the right, I gifted those so I could make a donation to the organization. Of course, I listed my donation in Harry and Meghan's name. And now they have the new T-shirt, and it is the Mama Have a Nice Day. Mama, oh, thank you, Mama. Have a nice day. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Mama. Have a nice day. I love the photo there on the left side where they're throwing the flowers up in the air. Now, Meghan is not in that photo. As a matter of fact, I don't think she's in any of the photos with this T-shirt, just the one that you see right there. And is that Mamma Mia, right? That's Meghan and Mamma Mia. So nice bag, nice shirt. And I will try to get that link for you so that if you want to make a donation, you can. Let's see, it says here, Mama, thank you. Celebrate the strength, love, and commitment of all nurturers and caregivers. True motherhood is defined by love, presence, and the community we create together. Support this community, Alliance of Moms, and our mission to build bright futures for young parents who have experienced foster care by purchasing the Mama Thank You t-shirt and tote bag. This campaign this campaign in collaboration with poet and artist Cleo Wade honors all those who mother and caregivers in any form while supporting expectant and parenting youth in foster care. By wearing this tee and tote, you're standing with young moms who are rewriting their stories with strength and resilience. So Anyway, there's some information right there if you are inclined, but I am going to go later and order one to make a donation. And of course, as I always say, try to make sure that when they say, where you can comment or whatever, try to include the names of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex as a way to let people know the level of reach that they have. I always try to do that, but you don't have to. But that's just my thing. So, TCC's son says Squatty shut down the beauty session today because the website kept sending errors. Oh, the Squatty shut it down. I finally could buy something. I think we're all waiting with our cards ready. Hello, all. Do you mean to tell me? Do you mean to tell me that the Squatties have destroyed another website? Yeah, that means it crashed. That's a crash. Clearly, it has crashed. Wow. And isn't this just what I was talking about? Thank you, TCC son, for the super chat. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. And Peretta JT, oh, thank you so much for becoming a member. Congratulations, and I greatly appreciate that. All right, very nice. Okay. She dished it out, but she couldn't handle it when it was reciprocated back to her. Exactly. Keep Meghan's name out your mouth. That's the best thing to do. Keep Meghan's name out your mouth. So there's the tote bag. And that way you can see the illustration up close. Mama, thank you. Have a nice day. Mama, 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 mama. Thank you. Mama, mama, mama. Have a nice day. That is pretty cool. I like it. I like it. They always have some really interesting shirts. And let's see. Oh, yes. Miss Tracy Robbins is wishing Kelly a happy birthday, wishing this beautiful human being the most amazing birthday today. Heart Mom, I am so blessed to have you in my life. You are pure sunshine. I hope you know how much you are loved by me. I hope you are being smothered with love today from family and friends, and angel kisses from your Georgie. That's her son that passed away. Happy birthday, my dear. Love you, Mama. Oh, that is so sweet. That is so sweet. How nice is that? That's beautiful. And then there on the right, love you, love being on your team, and love those boys. Very sweet. So I guess that's a lady from the organization. Happy birthday, Kelly. You are such a wonderful human, and I am extremely grateful to have you not only I can barely read that in my life, but my boys' lives. Okay. So I guess the boys, she's speaking of her children. Very sweet. So yeah, considering how much philanthropy and humanitarian work that she does, I felt compelled to make sure that we acknowledge her birthday. And there she is right there making that banana split with Meghan. That's the other place you may have seen her the other day. So there you go. Now let's get to this thumb with a face painted on it and a hair that looked like a Q-tip swab. or what is that, a cotton puff hair. Now, I talked about this. Okay, I didn't read the article because I didn't care to. Um, Meghan Markle is a drift of reality, says Vanity Fair editor who put her on the cover. I didn't read the article, and that's why I didn't realize what was going on. Now I know better. Whenever I can, I try to learn as much about this stuff from what some of the other squatties post. However, there are times when I have to go and double check and verify that it is what it is supposed to be. Not for every squatty, but for some who sometimes changes the words just to, make a joke or something like that. And I don't want to make that mistake. I like to be accurate. So, that being said, I didn't know why all of a sudden this was a thing. Now I know. Um, I did not watch this directly, but someone posted this. Normally, I avoid the morning show from Down Under because they are so nasty to Meghan. I avoid them. I mean to tell you, I try not to look at them or listen to them. However, this was shared by a squatty, and I'm glad that they did because remember, like I just said, yeah, a lot of times is reprehensible, some of the things that they say, but we also have to acknowledge when they get something right. And this was getting it right. I'm not saying that we have to build a shrine or something like that, but when they get it right, they get it right. So, um,
journalist has spoken out about Meghan.
Yes, it is
Actually, we
great.
call it Meghan. I beg your pardon. I'm sorry.
let me start that from the very beginning. Here goes.
Legendary journalist has spoken out about Meghan.
Yes, it is
Actually, we call
great.
it Meghan. I beg your pardon. I'm sorry. I think we moved on, but no.
No, Graydon Carter is his name, and he was for many years the executive editor of Vanity Fair. So he mixed in some pretty amazing circles and had a lot to do with a lot of big name stars. That famous cover there, way back when we first kind of got introduced to Meghan Markle, he's talked about that story and how he didn't really know who she was. He didn't even know what Suits was, but he decided to give her the cover because other people said, this is the woman who's going to be marrying Prince Harry. Get on board now. So they did, and they gave her that cover, but she wasn't happy. Meghan wasn't happy. But that's a shock because basically she said, I wanted the story to be much more about my philanthropic work and my charity work. And it became much more about Prince Harry. So if nothing else, it not only does it show she had an ego even back then, also shows she had no news sense either, because clearly the fact that she was marrying Prince Harry was the news story.
I'm sorry, I'm speaking out for Meghan here. I'm not buying for 1 minute that the editor of Vanity Fair wouldn't know who she was because she was dating Harry at the time. I'm not buying that. And so he uses her, puts her on the cover, and then comes out and blasts her. I don't like that.
No, I don't like it. If Kylie doesn't like it, I don't like it even.
Okay, I'm going to go back just a little bit, and then we're going to discuss this.
I wanted the story to be much more about he didn't even know what Suits was, but he decided to give her the cover because other people said, this is the woman who's going to be marrying Prince Harry. Get on board now. So they did, and they gave her that cover, but she wasn't happy. Meghan wasn't happy. But that's a shock because basically she said, I wanted the story to be much more about my philanthropic work and my charity work. And it became much more about Prince Harry. So if nothing else, it not only does it show she had an ego even back then, also shows she had no news sense either, because clearly the fact that she was marrying Prince Harry was the news story.
I'm sorry, I'm speaking out for Meghan here. I'm not buying for 1 minute that the editor of Vanity Fair wouldn't know who she was because she was dating Harry at the time. I'm not buying that. And so he uses her, puts her on the cover, and then comes out and blasts her. I don't like that.
No, I don't like it. If Kylie doesn't like it, I don't like it even more.
Do you know, come on.
Yeah, I mean, please. Really. Let's. And that guy from the show.
Robbie.
A legendary journalist has spoken out about Meghan.
Okay. Now, the guy with the black shirt on there. Um, it just goes to show what an ego she had even back then. Uh, I believe one of the things that helped Meghan decide to share the rest of her life with Harry, one of the things, and this is just my opinion, one of the things that said to Meghan, you know, I believe this was Meghan's decision. I'm going to close down Fatigue. Meghan, from childhood, has always been someone to fight for those who cannot fight their own battles. She is willing to go out there and use her voice, use whatever influence, big or small, to help the little person, so to speak. She's always had the spirit of a humanitarian and a philanthropist. And I believe that Meghan recognized two things. One, I am in love with Prince Harry. And number two, being a royal princess will give me a platform where I can really expand my humanitarian work. And with the promise of being able to work with a mostly non-white, um, you know, uh, Commonwealth, well, that was just perfect. Meghan had already visited, um, what was it, India, and oh gosh, I can't believe this slipped my mind. But the other place she went to in Africa, she'd already done that. Okay, and she was already volunteering and doing soup kitchen stuff here in the United States and Canada. So that is who she is. So the idea that Meghan would want to showcase her philanthropy, her philanthropic work, as he says, her humanitarian work, is that about ego or is it about the people who can be helped? So he's trying to slight Meghan. He's trying to put Meghan down, the guy on the right. But instead, it speaks volumes about Meghan's character, that she always puts that first. She settles a lawsuit. Part of the money is going to philanthropy, if not all of it. And the same with Harry. Harry made that huge donation to, what was it, Cintabale some time ago during the pandemic. That's who they are. So if that is supposed to be a slight, if that is supposed to be a put down, okay, I believe that there are some of those haters out there that will gladly take that at face value and not think any different than, oh, Meghan has just got an ego bigger than the great outdoors. But I see it as Meghan doing what she's always done, putting her philanthropy first, putting her humanitarian work first. And she wanted to make sure, yes, if I'm going to marry into this family, it has to be more than just romance. Because the other thing that's important besides starting a family is helping others, helping people that need help. I believe that those things are equal parts of Meghan's character. That's who she is. So when he said that, I'm just like, now that's very short-sighted. But the other two, I thought they were going to say something about that. Okay, fine, they didn't. But they did speak out about the human thumb. They did speak out about that human thumb. Or as some people say, the Quaker Oaks man. Yes, the man who has become, I don't know what he looked like as a child. I don't know what he looked like as a child. But now he has become the Quaker Oaks man. Yes, he has. Graydon Carter is his name. He has literally morphed into the Quaker Oats man. And I got proof. He may actually be the Quaker Oats man. I mean, you never see the two of them in the same place at the same time. So he may very well be the Quaker Oats man. Until I know different, I say that's who he is. Joan Garcia, thank you so much. Joan has gifted 1 Royal Sussex membership. Thank you very much. And congratulations to the very fortunate individual who receives that Royal Sussex membership. Thank you so much for that. That makes me very, very, very happy. So yes, the living embodiment of the Quaker Oats man. I was wondering why all of a sudden is this a thing? Well, this is why. From Michael Jackson's outrageous request to the late Queen to a bizarre Christmas gift from Tom Cruise, former Vanity Fair editor's new memoir. There you go. There you go. He has written a memoir. Reveals his most memorable showbiz encounters in deliciously candid detail. There you go. That explains everything. That explains everything. The only way that he's going to sell this book is by invoking the name Meghan Markle. That is the only way he's going to sell this book. Otherwise, nobody cares about this person. So he is doing a whole thing about his regret for putting Meghan on the cover of Vanity Fair. And like the Australian morning show people said, I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it. Everybody knew who Meghan Markle was. By the time he put Meghan on the cover, it was well established who she was. So I'm not buying it. Neither one of them. They said no. They pushed back. And just in case you've never had a chance to see those beautiful images, this was one of the images. And here's another. Vanity Fair, famous for the photos that they use. And of course, it's Wild About Harry. Wild About Harry. I think that was that in the center of it or whatever? But anyway, they put Meghan on the cover to sell the Vanity Fair because the world was getting very excited about the prospect of Prince Harry, the inevitability of Prince Harry being married. Princess Diana's youngest. Battered by the tabloids to the point where her boyfriend, Prince Harry, issued a statement defending her, actress and activist Meghan Markle has largely ignored the media storm and as Markle tells Sam, is it Kashner, about her biracial background, her romance, and her hit series Suits, it seems that this 36-year-old American may be just the woman for Britain's iconoclastic royal. Iconoclastic royal. Okay, there you go. Ooh, boy, that is very small. But yeah. So he's using Meghan just like everybody else. He is using Meghan to help push his memoirs. That's all, his memoir. Hazel Jones, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for being here. They just can't stand this black woman is generating attention around positive and talented ventures. She has stepped out of society's definition of how they see us. Here, here. Thank you so much, Jawa Productions LLC. Oh, okay. Okay. Was there another part of that? Let me see. Uh, let's see. Quaker Oaks, man. Yeah, he does have a better complexion. He does have a better complexion. Yeah, this guy is kind of full of himself. You can tell that weird hair lets you know that he's attention seeking. He is attention seeking. That hair has become part of his character, that he his persona that he puts out to the world. No different than that idiot in the White House. So from Michael Jackson, oh, I shared that already. I shared that, and that. Oh, by the way, that is the cover. That is the cover, just in case you missed it. That is the actual Vanity Fair cover. Yep, that is the cover. That is the very famous, very beautiful Vanity Fair cover, just in case you missed it. All right, Wild About Harry. And right there. And you know what? And I could see the problem that Meghan has with that. She's just wild about Harry. It makes it seem like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say. I don't like the way that sounds. I don't like the way that sounds. She's just wild about Harry. Like she's not her own person. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. It's a little bit too it's too needy and clingy. Not at all, Meghan. Not at all. And again, there he is, right in the middle of it, trying to capitalize on the popularity of the Duchess of Sussex to sell his memoir. That's what it's all about. That is why all of a sudden he has been running his mouth and trying to make this whole idea of regret. I regret putting Meghan on the cover, and people didn't know who she was, and blah, blah, blah. What an idiot. Now, there's this. I have this, and then after that, I have one other thing I'm going to share with you, and we're done, okay? So let me play this for you. This is Daniel Martin, who was there at the wedding of Harry and Meghan. He provided Meghan with the most beautiful fresh makeup look for that day.
Oh yeah, okay. Can you reveal?
There's so much speculation.
Oh
about
yeah,
that.
okay. Can you reveal anything that?
Oh yeah, it's been 6 years.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
It was basically a lot of Tatcha, and I mean, I was with Dior then,
Okay.
so a lot of the backstage had just launched.
Oh,
Right.
So her whole face was pretty much Dior backstage.
for what lip color?
It was a lip glow. And
It
and a
was?
pencil.
Oh, her lip combo was the lip glow and a what color pencil?
It was a MAC lip liner because I'm a die-hard MAC lip liner
Yeah,
devotee. I love MAC.
yeah.
Okay. So that was Breaking Beauty podcast. That's on TikTok. It's called Breaking Beauty Podcast. So apparently he has done a podcast with Breaking Beauty. So I believe they have a podcast and they also have a TikTok channel. So if you want to see more of Daniel Martin, go to Breaking Beauty Podcast. Okay. And that's where you'll find that. But again, that is the Dior lipstick, and he is using a lip liner from MAC Cosmetics. That is how he achieved that look for her on her wedding day. And then finally, check this out. With love, Meghan. Now, I don't know who made this. The person's account that I did not choose to identify because, we ain't like that with each other. I wanted to share this, but, so I'm not taking credit for creating this AI image of Meghan, but I thought it was the cutest thing, so I wanted to share it with you. And I believe that the person who posted this got it from someone else because they did credit someone else. So anyway, again, not taking credit for it, but did want to share it with you. And I think it is really cool. If they were going to make a Meghan doll, I think this would be near perfect. I'm trying to think, what would I, okay, the hair is perfect. The freckles are perfect. And the eyes are good. The eyes are very good. Um, I don't see anything wrong with it, but I'm not sure that it is, I'd have to see it from the side. But Meghan is considered to have one of the most beautiful noses in the world, and that there's a lot of women who rush to their cosmetic surgeon to get the Meghan Markle nose. Yeah, a lot of people wanted that Meghan Markle nose. That is a real thing. So I'm saying that the doll's nose is not bad, but I don't think it's quite Meghan. So that's the only thing that I see that I would say maybe they could do something, but there are some limitations to how they can mold something. But again, this is an AI image. So I don't know if there's something to be done or not. I don't know if they could actually mold a doll that would look as realistic as this one does. So there you go. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you to the new members. Thank you for the squatties that gifted those memberships. And let me see. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to come back later. I might. I might. This is getting a little later than I expected, but it's still kind of early and there may be something that comes up. So if it does, I'll come back later. But if not, then I'll see you all tomorrow, or for some of you much later today. But let's enjoy this together, as Meghan says. Let's enjoy this together. And let's lay down our sword and shield when necessary. There was Meghan, there was Gwyneth. I'm guessing that was Gwyneth Paltrow's kitchen, and they seem to be good with each other and enjoying each other's company. And I'm going to leave it right there. All right. I'm going to leave it right there. Harry and Meghan are adults. And part of building a name for yourself in various fields and in the world of philanthropy is getting along with people. So I am going to just let it go for now. For now. Yeah, I'm gonna do some research about the Centibale thing. I didn't get a chance to really dig into it, and I want to be more aware of it before I start commenting about it. So, um, but if the only version of the story is coming from the tabloids, that's not enough for me. So I want to know what that's about. And also, I'd like to hear something from, the Sussexes or from Harry before I go off on that one. So yeah, I'm just going to hold back on that for now. Always better to get it right. Okay. Thank you all very much. Love you guys. I will see you next time. And remember, as our Duchess would say, no bad energy. No bad energy.
How's it look, Meghan?
You're looking amazing, Meghan.